All right. We are live on multi-different platforms. Hi, Christina, Marlo. Welcome in, friends. Happy Tuesday. How's everyone's week been? I hope everyone had a great week. Just been taking one day at a time. That's all I can really do. Thanks for the gift. Thanks for the heart. Anything? Yeah, I had some really good clients this week at the shop. A lot of interesting people coming through the shop at Namaste Bookstore. So it's been lovely. I had a few shifts at Six the Musical, so that's been fun. Thanks for sharing the live, friends. Getting more people in here. I appreciate it. I hope everyone had a fabulous end to Pride Month and had a lot of fun. We had a dinner with a friend of ours. Yeah. But if you're new here, hi, my name is Tyler. I'm a professional tarot reader. This is Tuesday Night Tarot, where we do collective zodiac readings. We go and start with the sign that's in season and work our way around the wheel from there. That's how we do things around here. We've been doing that for about over a year now, if I remember correctly. I think. I don't know. I forgot. We are using Tarot of the New Vision today. I figured that we might need to look at things a little bit differently from a different perspective today with our readings. So if you haven't checked out the deck review over on the YT channel, head on over at the end of the live to check that out. This is a tarot deck that artwork by Raul and Gianluigi Castro. They rotated the imagery 180 degrees. So it's a fun way to look at new things, new perspectives here with the cards. But we're hanging out. Feel free to drop a comment or say hello in the chat. We're just hanging out, having a great evening, and we're going to get ourselves started. Don't forget to tap the screen, comment below, share the live, do all the things to get other people in here. But we're hanging out. So we start with Cancer and go around the wheel from there. So Cancers, you are up. Cancer, babes, what are we talking about? The Knight of Cups, the Six of Pentacles, and the Seven of Wands. Cancers, right now, while we're filling our own vessel here emotionally, going after what we need, are we understanding that we have the ability to give and receive of energy, money, and time, resources right now, but have the perspective right now, Cancers, that maybe you were once where these people are who are asking for help. So can you graciously give and accept help now, right now, as you are fueling and taking care of yourself? Because right now we're going to have a moment where we stand our own ground. Remember that in the Seven of Wands energy is Effie from Dreamgirls, standing her ground, saying that she's not going. She's being an immovable force right now, standing up for what she believes in, what she deserves. Are you seeing everything, though, from all angles that's going around? These people here, are they your enemy, or are they really trying to hype you up? But something here for us Cancers is having us need to stand our ground. We've worked hard to get us to the perspective in which we are standing in right now. We have to defend it. So Cancers, look around as you're fueling your cup right now. Are there other individuals around you who might need your help and support? Just because you have progressed and understand what you emotionally need to care for yourself and for others doesn't mean you can't help other people but understand what it means when you defend your territory and stand up for what you believe in right now. Cancers, don't be so harsh. Thanks for the perfume, Christina. All right, Leos are up. So I'm also excited. I talked to our I don't know what they're called. Our merchandise orderer. I don't know if that's a proper name. Our inventory person. About getting in some new decks to the crystal shop, or the bookshop. They're both the same place. For the store, getting new, fresh things. There's been I've been noticing that there's a lot of stagnant, same repetitive decks over and over. So I'm trying to help them find new things. So I've been keeping an eye out on what's coming down the pipeline for things that kind of are coming out that I've noticed. Well, the Agatha All Along deck is being released. So I'm going to ask them to get a couple of copies of those. The Find Your Way Oracle, which is by Ari Weisner, which is a beautiful deck that I've been seeing coming out. And then there's an artist who I just saw, John Rice, has made the Mindful Space Tarot, which is absolutely beautiful. So those are coming out. All of those are going to be mass market. So I'm going to ask them to get a couple of those in. So I'm excited about that. All right, Leos, what's your message tonight? Ooh, the Nine of Swords, Justice, and the Six of Swords. Understand, Leos, that the things that go bump in the night are here for us to understand and gain a perspective from, right? We're losing our sleep over things that are way deep within our head. So things to do to get out of our head with this? Well, understand how we are keeping things even and balanced. Are we doing everything ethically that we are supposed to? Is everything fair and just and even right now? If it's not, then it's time to course correct. So do we need to do some reflective journaling for ourselves to understand where things have been going in a different direction right now? But maybe too, a lot of the things that we're worrying about are so beyond our control that it's up to this big old Milky Way behind us to actually play into full effect here, right? And have things progress as they need to, authentically and naturally. But as we go through and try to evaluate what's got us up at night and if things are being fair and even around us, the journey that we're on, the Six of Swords, needs to be a choice from logic to get us from point A to point B. This is a transitional time right now. So understand the actions and words that you are speaking as you move from emotional rough patches to a calmer time here. And know that you have it completely within yourself to make this journey here. But are you choosing the right means and actions to get yourself there, Leos? So Leos, Nine of Swords, the things that keep us up at night, we need to evaluate so we can keep and protect our peace. We are probably wondering where things have been either gone wrong or how we keep things, ethically and above board. But know that it's all about our actions and how we choose to move through this world. So all you owe anyone is to be open, honest, and direct with anything and everything that you need. And we got a thunderstorm rolling on in here. I am so excited for the thunderstorm. It has been muggy here. The other day, I felt like I was practically swimming to get to work. Virgos are up. All right, Virgos. Virgos, we have to understand our choices. The Lovers is here. Lovers is not a romantic card. Get that out of your heads, because our strength and our fortitude and our grace is here for us, and understanding why in the distance we have built for ourselves. We have built monuments before. We can do it again, Virgos. We got a completely major arcana here, Virgos. We're going through big picture stuff right now. The Death card is here. Understand that the tides come in and out here. The perspective here that's added into this Death card is there's actually a little boat here. I don't know. Tarot doesn't do that, Joan. Tarot doesn't do that type of questions. We should use our big adult voices and communicate with them. But Virgos, it's time to understand our choices right now. Are you feeling chosen right now? And if not, we need to do some evaluation here on whether or not it's easy for us to move forward. And it might be a little bit challenging and scary to do that. The temptation to let the ego control a Virgo is very potent. I know my ego was triggered yesterday and I had a hard time controlling it, but it was easy. I was capable to put it under control, but it wasn't until after I spun out for like 2.5 hours. But that's really what the strength is. It's controlling the inner beast inside. When we want to let things spiral out of control, are you able, Virgos, to get back under control with this? You've done it before and you can do it again. But we're going through big change right now. The Death card is endings, right? This is the ability to rise from the ashes and grow again. If I was to ever design my own tarot deck, I would put a phoenix on the Death card. That to me is a cycle of rebirth, of change, of constant transition. It's the card of Scorpio too, right? So understand too, Virgos, if we're feeling uncomfortable, we're probably shedding our skin. So we're probably shedding our skin and evolving right now so that we can enjoy what's new on the horizon for us. So Virgo, the Lovers, strength and death. Mind your choices, use your fortitude, and embrace the change. Libras. Right? A phoenix on the Death card just seems iconic to me. So I can't remember. I think there's a couple of different tarot decks that I know have phoenixes on it. I believe the Tarot of the Divine has the Phoenix as the King of Wands. And you're welcome, Thomas. Yeah, has a Phoenix on the King of Wands, and the Orion Animal Tarot definitely has a Phoenix. I just can't remember what card it's on. Both of those you can find deck reviews on the YT channel. Hi, Charlotte. You just missed the Leo reading, but sit back, listen for maybe your your rising or your moon. But if you miss yours, you can catch the replay either on IG or YT after the live is finished. But thank you so much for being here. All right, Libras, what are we talking about? Libra, 4 of Pentacles. Are we protecting things right now as we're facing an uphill battle? Which this uphill battle is all about enlightenment and perspective with the Hanged Man. We might be feeling ridiculed by those who are around us, but know that we have wisdom beyond their capability right now, which is probably scary for us to go through because we're in uncharted territory. And when we try to see past what other people are knowing and capable of, it feels like we are alone on an island with no one else who kind of fully understands. We are just waiting and playing catch up for them to be here. So in the meantime, write things down, reflect on these insights and the wisdom and light reflect on the enlightenment and feelings that you have had while you surrender. Friends, the Hanged Man is also a depiction of the Celtic god Thor. No, not Thor. Odin. Odin, who hangs themselves on the tree of Yggdrasil to gain the runes after sacrificing something. You could also if you are a Christian, you can also look at it as the reference of Jesus sacrificing himself on the cross, right? Or other religions that are out there where a being sacrifices themselves for the collective in a way. So right now we are probably feeling this martyrdom or victimization as we are feeling like we have to surrender to these understandings of this enlightenment right now, Libra. Right? We like to keep things in balance now, but sometimes we have to sacrifice some things to maintain that balance. So Libra, protecting things right now because we are facing some sort of uphill battle as we move forward. So protect the things that have value to you, your energy, money, time, resources, as you get ready for some sort of enlightenment that comes from a surrender here. But know that when you feel worrisome, anxious, anxiety driven, don't let it manipulate or cripple you into not being able to rest or move. You can work through it. You just have to find the things, the coping tools that you need for success to move through with these things by your side. So Libra, 4 of Pentacles, the Hanged Man, 9 of Swords. I have one Phoenix in an Oracle. That's cool. Glad you resonated, Christina. Yeah, the Phoenix can go on a multitude of things, but it just seems to fit on the Death card because it's more of a rebirth from an ending, and it's not catastrophic. All right, Scorpios, what are we talking about? Scorpios, ooh, we're juggling with the 2 of Pentacles, the Page of Cups. We're having some whimsy and the World, which is interesting here too. Scorpios, on all of these cards, Scorpio, the backs are to us. So right, looking at the cards, Scorpio, it feels as if we're looking ahead to these things, right? we are looking out on the horizon on how we can juggle things and juggle reality here while we are kind of out in pasture or out in our work doing the things that we need to do. But where's the fun and whimsy, right? We have to maybe look outside of the normal vessels that we're used to, or our normal means of finding our whimsy, finding the joy right now. There can be opportunities if we look in different spots for us. But I think this is interesting. The world card from the backside of it, it feels like we've probably had this moment of, we understand that the portal has closed. We've probably felt, Scorpios, that we've already stepped through it, right? We're not so much on the ready to be the fool yet, but we've realized that we've gone past one aspect here to the other side of thought processes, words, actions, feelings. They're done, they're over with. We've walked through. So now where's the adventure? Where is the potential? Where's the new chapter? So Scorpios, Two of Pentacles, keep things simple and easy as you move forward, finding that spontaneity, that joy, that whimsy from unlikely sources again, possibly going back to something you put down before with a different perspective, but know that you've already closed that chapter. You've already closed that door. So now it's time to continue moving forward with this fresh new mindset of understanding that we are through one end and at the beginning of a new chapter. Sagittarius. Oh, Spooky Luna's in the chat. Hi, Luna. If you're not following Luna, please go give her a follow. She is another amazing tarot reader across all platforms. She also has her own merch, her own tarot deck, all of the things. So go follow her. I've already reviewed her tarot deck, so you can check that out. All right, Sagittarius, what are we talking about? Sag, we are talking about our own mental booby traps right now. Why? Because we are alone in uncharted territory, moving through things that we don't know necessarily about. Mind the illusions that are happening. But you'll understand when you step back into your own cosmic, theatrical, spiritual power and know that all you have to do is lead. The universe is behind you. You are protected, but you're probably forging your own way without your normal landmarks right now. So can you see it? Can you touch it? Can you smell it? Can you taste it? All of those things, Sagittarius, will help you realize where things are going. But make sure that we look for the moon. And Sagittarius, with this coming up, maybe Thursday is going to be powerful for you. We have a full moon on Thursday. So if everyone's been feeling a little funky, that's probably why. Also, things are about to go direct, and I believe things are going direct. And then we have retrogrades coming up. Remember that retrogrades aren't that scary. We just focus on things that start with all the letters RE, recharge, regroup, reorganize, refrain, all of those types of words. That's what we do with organization. So, you popped in, and Luna, you popped in, and I was like right on cue, right for her side. So Sagittarius, know that right now, if also too, I'm working a little bit backwards here with this one because why not? We are probably in our heads right now to start off. We've put ourselves there. We have gotten our own selves bound up by our own anxiety, indecision, our own lack of mental control, right? We have let that ego control us to being in a freeze state. When we push through, probably understanding that we are exactly where we need to be in this field of illusion right now, because things feel different in uncharted territory. As we go after things that are important to us, we will free ourselves from those mental binds and those ties to come back into our own spiritual leadership and authority, right? The King of Wands is the need to make big moves, right? Is to put that logic behind the magic that we are creating. So Sagittarius, Eight of Swords, get out of your own way and look that there is probably an easy way to get out from the things that have tied and bind us. Feeling lost and alone, right? But this flips the perspective. We probably have a team because there's like a soldier coming up behind, right? We might feel alone, but if we take a moment to maybe look behind us, we probably will see that people are following us, right? And that have our backs, who want to support us as we go through and kind of lead the way in the unknown territory. So that way we can then become that ruler, that spiritual advisor, if you will, with the King of Wands. Well, I was about to make a joke about the thunderstorm, but then there was just a giant bolt of lightning, so that was fun. You're welcome, Luna. Just, doing my job, calling people out. I also can't believe, Luna, that last TikTok post that you did about that medium. I was like, you missed the plot of Coco. Like, and the cards are being blunt today because we're using Tarot of the New Vision. It is a 180-degree rotation of the tarot deck to have a different perspective of what the cards have. So I felt like, for myself, I needed to speak differently with tarot. So that we can have maybe a better understanding of what's going on. Exactly. I wish you knew who it was too. But we are halfway through. This is just your friendly reminder. I will never DM you about a reading, about anything. I will never message you. That is scam behavior. I have proper channels on which you can get a reading from me, whether it's on these lives or through private one-on-one sessions that you can find in the menu, in the description. Also here in New York City, if you are in person or want a phone reading, Namaste Bookshop, you can get readings from me there, which I will be there tomorrow. If anyone is around, but I will never message you. Exactly. And anyone who does ancestry work likes to have memories or connections or ties to them. You absolutely need to come to the city, Luna. All right, Capricorns. Capricorns. Ooh, temperance, balance, mixing. Even in a way, too, Capricorns, temperance can be also code switching, right? Switching between personalities, vernacular phrases that you use in with loved ones, with friends, with coworkers, right? We are talking about how we flip our identities and go about things to make sure we are keeping one foot on land and in our emotions to feel the safest that you can be. Why? Because we need rest, peaceful rest with those who want to support us. Maybe too, this rest comes from working with people. The way I say working with people is because on this card, it looks like there are two other people maybe praying over this individual. So to me, it's a ritual healing in a way. So whether that's, I don't know, a chiropractor, an energy worker, a Reiki practitioner, right? Something that is a community based, not community, but like a group effort to heal and protect our peace right now. Hi, kitty. Hi, baby. All of a sudden, I was getting sniffed. So Capricorn, finding the balance of where we code switch as we are protecting our peace, probably having to use a little bit of structure and foundation and a little additional support if you can, because we've got to lead the way. We have to gain the higher ground and lead the way for other people with the Three of Wands. How do you continue to fuel your vessel and nourish yourself as you step outside of the comfort zone of the plans that you have created for yourself and your endeavors? But now it's time to like actually journey through it, travel and move to these things, to these destinations. It also, Capricorn, is an understanding of identity. Blending these together so that you can find peace and maybe not have to code switch as much. So then you can lead authentic life, nourished and cared for yourself. So Capricorn, temperance, Four of Swords, and the Three of Wands. Aquarius. My goal is to see 15 shows this year. I'm a little behind on seeing shows. So, Luna, if you can get here, we'll go see as many as you want. All right, Aquarius. Y'all, we're all in our heads. The Nine of Swords is back up. What's keeping us up at night, Aquarius? Probably our choices here, understanding where we're being chosen, what's not happening. We need to cleanse. We need to wash it off ourselves. Aquarius, it's giving that we are worrying about other people's actions and choices instead of focusing on our own. And when we decide to cleanse ourselves, we'll see the joy and the childlike spontaneity and freedom of knowing what's going on. Maybe it's time to evaluate what's been happening in our world because things aren't going well. And when we kind of manifest emotionally what we need, that'll bring the abundance around. There's at the end of the day, we need to feel. So whatever's been going on that has us staying up and worrying and anxious about, understand either the choices that you've made or try to just understand surface level, because we can't understand completely why people do things. But when you understand and look at things for whatever reason, they thought that was their best course of action, whether you like it or not, if you can let things go from it, you will then be able to emotionally move on from it. As a giant crack of lightning just hit the sky in here in New York City. So Aquarius, make sure you're finding time to rest the mind, logically choose constructive alone time that's beneficial for your own strength to move forward, to understand the choices that are going on in your world, and get ready for an emotional cleanse. A new emotional journey is on the horizon for us. You're welcome. I'm glad you resonated. Pisces. All right, Pisces. The conversation is about deception. Are we deceiving ourselves with the things that we can do? Are we trying to get away with things? Are people trying to take from us our ability to move forward, right? Something's happened around here. Karma, the wheel of fortune is happening. If we feel like we are at the bottom of our rotation right now, understand that fortune spins for everyone. The goddess Fortuna, right, who spins the wheel of fortune, she is blindfolded. She could give two rats behinds what's happening. All she is meant to do is spin the wheel. So what goes around comes around. Make sure you are keeping things above board. I love that when I say what comes around goes around. There was a giant flash of lightning out my window. But here's where we need to understand and where we got to focus our energy is the Six of Cups. The nostalgia or processing something related to inner child joy that needs to be understood. Actions from the past might be coming up. It's not meant for us to necessarily forgive, but it's here for us. Holy crapola. All right. Understand the actions that are happening or around you are meant for you to understand the cycles of life so you can process the inner child need for emotional healing right now. Pisces. Whatever actions that are either happening to you or from you, the world, the universe is listening. So can you, what you're betting or what you're gambling, are you willing to risk it right now? But know that whatever it is, the turmoil or the satisfaction or the healing that we need is going to come from some inner child reflection and healing and growth. You, Pisces friends, have probably became the adults that your inner child or younger self wanted growing up. So the world in which you now have to move through is processing that. And sometimes that's hard. So take care of yourself, hydrate, nourish, journal, reflect, cry if you need to. Do the things that help you feel these things so that you can then be present in the universe right now. Pisces, again, 7 of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, and 6 of Cups. Aries is up. Oi! I almost decided to play 78 card pickup. All right, Aries, what are we talking about? Ooh, the moon. Unlikely places for feeling like we are making progress because we are investing our time and energy and resources and declaring that we're ready to go on this mysterious adventure that might be a little of uncharted territory for us, but for us, it means a lot. Why? Because we've got no other option right now, right? For us, this might be the simplest and easiest way to move through things is to go through the uncharted territory, right? We've tried, Aries, we've probably tried all the other means possible. But right now, the best course of action is to go through the scary unknown because it beats going through what we've gone through before in the past. So, Aries, if you're feeling like you are out to sea without your normal landmarks, you are exactly where you belong. The moon is dualities and illusions of things in your world right now. So make sure you are looking at things tangibly and not looking at reflective things, because that's where things might appear too good to be true. But for you, this course of action seems to be the safest place for you, because this is where you can invest your time, your energy, your resources, and declare that you are ready to move through this process of finding new financial gains, planting of new seeds, connecting to yourself, because a pentacle is the earth, air, fire, water, and spirit of yourself combined, right? This journey of adventure is probably so you can maybe look at your own reflection to see where things need to be changed. But we're juggling and handling things beautifully because we've tried to juggle everything else before in other different avenues. So maybe going at this head forward is easier than going through the sunny, joyous, overly positive, right? It's like, Aries, we're done with the toxic positivity and we're here for the growth, the reflection, the journeying down the little bit of the scariness to do, shadow work, which is just therapy essentially for ourselves, because we know where growth needs to happen. So Aries, the moon, Knight of Pentacles, and the Two of Pentacles. I do apologize also for my jumps, because the lightning in the city that's happening right now is intense. Will or won't you is completely up to you. Tarot doesn't predict the future. It doesn't do that type of reading. If you are doing all of the things that you need to be doing necessary to achieve a job, then it's up to the universe after that. So, but tarot can't predict the future. Tarot doesn't do yes or no either. So tarot is a tool for your own self-reflection and guidance. Taurus is up. Taurus, what are we talking about? Ooh, endings and new beginnings. The world is here for us. Why? Because we are coming into our own authority and confidence again, and understanding that this is coming from a long line of success of planting seeds, and comes from a long line of planting seeds of success and feeling that abundance for ourselves, but it comes with an air of confidence. All we have to do is act our truest self. What I mean by that is last month I saw somebody on the subway carrying a small dog in a Louis Vuitton bag. Whether that bag was real or not, it perceived to me with an air of confidence of, I've got this. I know what I'm doing. I've got things under control, that I don't care. I'm using, hi Flower, I'm using this Louis Vuitton bag to carry my dog. I don't care how expensive it is. It makes me happy, right? It's this fake it till you make it kind of way as we go through this next chapter for ourselves. What do we got to do? The Hierophant. Either we're being called to teach and lead with spiritual wisdom, to pass the keys of wisdom on to others, or it's here with a confidence that we've now been able to set up a routine for ourselves, a kind of status quo for ourselves, Taurus, to move forward through things. We have, you can kind of see people in the background here that's holding a dove and a snake. Peace and intelligence is here for us when we set up practices that come from confidence, because we have now started this new chapter for ourselves. So again, Taurus, the World, Nine of Pentacles, and the Hierophant. All right. Last but not least is Gemini. All right, Gemini, what are we talking about? Gemini, our emotional choices and reflection is here with the Six of Cups. Why? Because we are kind of at a stalemate here of indecision around what has happened. How do we move forward? Use the enlightenment and the perspective that you are gaining right now as your opportunity to feel surrender and understand a different perspective of what's happened right now. So Gemini, the Six of Cups is all about the emotional choices of healing, of giving, right? Because the sixes fall under the Lovers, which is the card of Gemini, right? So understanding our choices around who we give emotionally to, right? Who actually gets to feel and respect and fully grasp the emotions that we're feeling right now. But we have to keep the decisions around who we share our emotions with simple and easy right now. Don't let the emotions control the wisdom or the decision process. this is an even balance here. We're no longer, we're past the point of needing to use the emotions as the form of communicating our words. This is now logical aspects on how you communicate to move forward, on who you choose to share how you're feeling, because some people are not necessarily going to fully understand, but you understand what has happened, so you can see clearly now what's gone on around you. You've gained an enlightenment and a perspective here. So now you have to use your discernment on who gets to understand what kind of emotional breakthroughs that you have had. Gemini, not everyone is going to have your best interests in mind. So you have to understand and communicate with those who have your best interests in mind. We don't need to tell everyone our business, but have a select few who you trust, who are always going to support you to understand the enlightenment process that you have had. So Gemini, 6 of Cups, 2 of Swords, and the Hangman. That was all 12 zodiac signs. So, yeah, we've been churning them out. Look for upcoming lives. New deck reviews are going to come out on Friday, so keep looking out for that. I hope everyone has a fabulous week. I will see y'all next week. And until then, friends, remember to go slow, be present, and most importantly, breathe. Bye, friends.